Spring has sprung, and the whole morning we've been talking about everything spring in our kitchen. And this time round, well, Hans is also in our studio on Espresso this morning. We've got our art director, Matanna, with us because she's going to show us how to literally vibrant things up in your home. There's nothing like bringing in fresh flowers into a home and making sure that everything is bright. So, warm welcome, Matanna.
Thank you.
Thanks for making our set look so pretty always, and especially delightful today on the 2nd of September as we're celebrating spring.
Great.
I know.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So take me through it. How do we keep flowers fresh for longer?
Okay, so firstly, Pick n Pay has given me the most beautiful range of flowers to work with today. There's all different kinds and colours and scents and smells. It's amazing. Beautiful pincushion proteas. There's a lot to work with. So I have a lot of really great tips just to, use in your home to help keep them alive for longer, because you want to have them around your home, especially, if you buy them, they're so pretty, you want to keep them alive for longer.
Now, people have got all kinds of crazy tips. I've heard of you can put sugar in the water and bleach, and just give us the right story. How do we keep them fresh for longer? And I brought you a handyman.
Yes.
Yeah, because he's been in our studio singing, so this time around he can work with flowers.
I'm working now. Okay.
Yeah, so firstly, very important. When you get your store-bought beautiful bunch of flowers, it's always interesting to look at the different stems. Some are very leafy, some are plain, but when you're putting it into your vase, you want to try keep all the greenery off the stem that's actually going into the water. This is going to help keep your water cleaner for longer.
I understand, all right.
The bleach thing is actually kind of true. I have heard from many florists that you can put like a little quarter teaspoon of bleach into your water, which help keep it nice and clean. But also you should be changing your water every 2 to 3 days.
A friend of mine changes her water every day. Hindsight's mal. So
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with changing it every day.
The more you do it, the better and cleaner it's going to be.
So maybe she's not that crazy. I was just joking. Okay. So
Yes.
No leaves in the actual water. Okay.
Yeah. Another
To
tip.
leave it out.
Another great tip
It's
is
early. Sorry.
we want to cut our stems.
Right.
Okay.
At an angle, right?
45-degree
Yes, I know.
angle.
Yes.
You can actually take a little turn with the garden shears.
I'm going to get away from
You're
you.
going to cut in a little angle slant like that. Okay.
I'm
Just
gonna
take your
try-
fingers
So
out
you
of the
can
way,
cut-
Matanna.
I'm going to aim for 45, okay?
Yeah.
Is
There
that
we go.
45?
Now that's great. Now very important. Always use garden shears or a nice sharp knife from your kitchen. Never use paper scissors because you actually damage the stem
If
by
you
using
use
it.
ordinary scissors.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
wow.
it squishes the stem and actually damages it.
Okay.
Now most
Just look
florists.
into camera and say a letter. Heinz's wife. We need to use these to cut them.
Yes.
Okay, what else can we do?
So very important, and that also it actually helps to. It's best to do it under running water. This will help prevent air bubbles from getting locked in and getting trapped.
Cut it
actually
under
killing-
running water?
Yeah, you should actually cut it under running water. We're just doing it today just to test it to show everyone how it works, but
Right.
that's how you should do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So
now
you're popping it
I'm
back
another
learning
tip.
so much.
Yes, another tip is when you are working with your vase, clean it with hot, soapy water and rinse it very well. This will help remove any microorganisms that are in the vase.
So that
which
they don't
leads
grow
to-
back.
Yes, and also it's horrible because if they're in there, it leads to slimy and dirty water and therefore will kill your flowers. Another great tip, Pick n Pay give with most of their flower bunches these little packets of plant feeder, all right? Use them. Pour one of them into your vase of water with your flowers and it'll actually help give your plant the nutrients that it doesn't get because it doesn't have its roots anymore in the
I was
ground.
going to ask you, do you use the whole sachet or can you use like a little bit and spare some for later?
Well, it depends how big your vase
Spaar
is.
saamig. Miskien net 'n bietjie van
Well, if you
daag.
get one with each bunch, you should be fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks, Hans.
exactly. Also, it depends how big your vase is. If you have a small vase, then you don't want to pour the whole thing in.
Yeah.
If your vase is quite big, then you can use the whole one.
Moderation is key.
And also, I'm sure when you go to your local Pick n Pay, you can ask them for a few extra.
No,
little
when I walk into my
plant
local Pick n
feeders.
Pay, I pretend I know everything. I'm like, hi guys, I know how this works. Okay, but that's really neat. Look, this looks amazing and really beautiful, and I can see that you put a lot of hard work into this. Matanna, our art director here on Espresso, giving us some tips on how to keep our flowers fresh. En dan ons ander blommetjie, Hans Winkler is in studio, and he's going to stay with us till the end. When we come back, we're talking more flowers, but for now, we're taking a little break. It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back to
to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Espresso here on SABC3. Now, spring is in the air and we are brightening up our entire studio with amazing and beautiful flowers. Our art director and set stylist, Matanna is back to show us exactly how to bring spring to our table. Matanna, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Excellent. I love what I see here. It's so festive, it's so bright. It really does remind me that spring is officially here. How does anyone, a regular person, achieve this kind of table at home?
Well, it helps that Pick n Pay give me the most beautiful, flower choices to work with today, with so many colors and the different scents.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, the more the merrier. I love putting together a cluster of all different kinds of flowers, mixing and matching. The colors just work so beautifully together. I love the pincushion proteas and the different fynbos in the vase over there.
Nice.
They're just really great to work with.
I like that you've incorporated so many different types of flowers and not just one, so we really can be creative and kind of do something different, right?
Yeah. And you can have fun with it. I mean, it's all to your own.
Yeah.
If you love certain kind of flower, go wild with that flower.
Fantastic.
So this is a lunch-inspired spring table.
Nice.
And I always like to work with a nice clean base with a white tablecloth.
Yes.
So as you know, I love working with what you have at home, make it work for you. So a lot of people have old books that have been passed down from their parents or grandparents, and they just kind of sit in a bookcase collecting dust. So I actually took apart one of those books and used it to create the table runner, which you can see today, out of the old book paper.
That is fantastic.
So it felt very organic to me.
Yeah.
Playing with it and using it in other elements so that you have a nice unity of your table. So, again, as you can see on this beautiful little pot plant, I've just wrapped it in the paper with a bit of twine, a little shipping tag. Wonderful gift to give as well when guests come, or for someone's birthday. It's just such a beautiful and different plant to give.
I love that. And if the pot that the plant was in was looking a little shabby, it's a great way to cover that up as well.
Exactly.
So awesome.
And because we have the minestrone soup, inspired for spring that we made earlier, lovely to put on a table, very nice and light. We've got a lovely garden salad. And we've got some homemade ciabattas, also a really fun way to play with. Taking the book paper, wrapping it around, putting a little bit of eucalyptus leaves and a bit of twine around it, just kind of keeping it into the whole look and feel. Especially with our bunter inspired by our spring table.
Look at that.
A lot of fun, a nice twist on the normal kind of bunter hanging something. It just adds another little detail for your guests to enjoy and to look at, and you can really do anything. I've just used a bit of twine, some eucalyptus leaves, and the book paper once again with wooden pegs. But you can, put up flowers, anything that you feel ties in with your table, so you can really have fun with it.
I like how you take one thing and that central theme kind of runs throughout the table, even on the plates and the runner as well. So that's very, very cool. Thank you so much, Matanna. Really, really artistic and quite original as well. I like it.
Thank you.
Well, that was our set stylist, Matanna, of course, showing us how exactly we can bring spring to any party table. Now we are heading over to the garden where once again Ben Getz is showing us how to plant and grow some really exciting things.
By supporting the Flower Valley Conservation Trust, that's where we found goodness. Pick n Pay, always there for you.